There's a lot to talk about in this video. Bethesda has been pretty busy. We just got the new update to Fallout 76, adding in a new questline, but also leaving us with a lot of questions. In this video, I'm going to go over some more we found out around that mystery, as well as we also got a ton of new information about another new quest and dungeon coming in just a few days this Tuesday. But also with the latest update to the game, it seems as if Bethesda added in a couple of secret fixes or changes that weren't listed in the patch notes, but coming along with those, unfortunately, were a couple of bugs also. And stemming from some of those is a renewed concern around pay-to-win changes making their way into this game. Either way, I'm going to have timestamps for a lot of that down below if you are interested or just want to jump around. Otherwise, if you guys enjoy the content, you can leave a like or subscribe. But without further ado, let's actually start things off with some of the other interesting changes coming with this latest update. One really nice new feature added in is now when you go to scrap a favorited item, typically this means it was done by accident, you'll get a little warning pop-up saying, hey, are you sure you want to do this? This is without a doubt a great new addition to the game, but I have kind of a qualm with whoever design this. I feel like it might almost lead to more accidental scrapping. Throughout pretty much all of the Fallout 76 menu system, hitting the tab key makes it so you go back, at least on PC, while hitting the space key makes it so you either create something or maybe even select something. Well, when you get this pop-up, if you hit the tab key, you will scrap this item. I almost instinctively hit the tab key to cancel things because that's how it works on the normal scrap screen, but for whatever reason with this one, it's reverse. Space is back, tab is forward, and I just think that should probably be changed or switched back to the other way around. Even further, Fallout 76 has had a long withstanding bug where if you take out a energy or laser weapon that requires cores, so if you have 10 cores, it'll give you 10 shots, then once you fire them, you'll have to load in a new core, and if you put the weapon away, it'll always reset to this. That's another one that just saw a fix, and for whatever reason, Bethesda didn't actually include either of these in the patch notes. But naturally that might have just been some kind of oversight. Unfortunately, when it comes to Gatling weapons though, even though we saw this fix, we also got a couple of new bugs. Now when you actually reload a Gatling weapon and then try and fire it, it'll fire one shot and then just stop. To an extent, it's almost kind of funny. It's easily fixed. You just click the fire button again and it typically works as intended. Even further, apparently there's some kind of glitch going on where certain ammo is eaten, so some of the ammo in your fusion core might get deleted after reloading. Although the one that has people a little bit more concerned is the repair changes. Now, when at a weapon crafting table, to repair one of your weapons, you first have to inspect it and then repair it. Through this, we got a follow-up bug where now you can't actually see the stats for a given weapon. It'll just all be blank for whatever reason until you back out and then go back into the weapons workbench. All the discussion has started around this saying they're making repairing have that little extra step, so we're even more incentivized to buy these repair kits that were recently announced. People making the connection, one week we get the announcement of repair kits you could buy for money, the next week repairing gets one even minor added step to it. And this isn't exclusive to this change. A while ago we saw nerfs to the White Knight perk that allowed you to repair your armor easier. But then with the nerfs, it was more expensive to repair your armor. People are saying maybe that is connected to these repair kits or in preparation for it. With the other major one being food spoiling more quickly, so maybe Bethesda will add refrigerators to the Atomic Shop as they've hinted at. And thus that's why we saw that change. I saw an ongoing discussion around this by quite a few people, so I wanted to mention it in this video. But as far as my personal opinion goes, mostly I don't really buy into this. Bethesda hasn't exhibited the most foresight with the release of this game, so I think people might be giving them a bit too much credit there. And that's why I tend to shy away from some of the other theories, but as far as the most recent one goes, it does beg the question. Why did Bethesda make it so you have to go through an extra menu? Of course, now there is renaming, so maybe they wanted it so you could do that at the crafting table, but couldn't have they just left the repair button where it is and added in another button for inspecting the item? Seems weird that they tied them together, but again, who knows what their actual motives are. As I said, I don't really buy into most of these. I don't think they are necessarily true, but at the same time, I do think it is a question worth asking, but that's at least my personal take on it. I'm still very against any kind of pay-to-win features getting added in though. Bethesda hasn't actually given us any kind of response or update around these repair kits. As it stands right now, it still seems like in one of the updates coming in the next couple of weeks, we will see them added in. Although speaking about updates, we actually got some server maintenance to Fallout 76 today. These servers were taken down. A lot of people typically have questions around this. It seems like it really was just server stability, as Bethesda said. All the bugs I highlight in this video are still there and were implemented with the past patch, as well as that friends list bug is still there also. Although in today's Inside the Vault article, we got more information around the next DLC update coming to Fallout 76. This is coming out on this coming Tuesday. It's going to add in a new questline questline and dungeon known as Waste Management. Prior to the bombs dropping, Harper's Ferry actually constructed this drainage system underneath their city. Then once the bombs dropped, obviously, this got a whole new appeal to people that wanted to get away from the radiation and everything else out there. And that's where it became dubbed the Burrows. Although apparently in more recent years, there's been a strange signal coming from the Burrows, and that's when the Brotherhood of Steel sent some troops down there to investigate. They were never heard from again, and now we go down on this new quest. The Burrows themselves are meant to be a high-level dungeon. That's going to be part of the point of the main quest, but after you finish that first quest, you can repeat this dungeon. They mention how it's balanced to be completed by 2 level 50 plus vault dwellers, and based off some of the shared images and videos, it very much so to me looks almost like a horde mode, like you're gonna stand in kind of one largely fixed location and just waves of enemies will come at you. Although the fact that it only requires 2 level 50 plus players is kinda low, surprisingly low in fact. Like, you can't do the Scorchbeast Queen with 2 level 50s, you definitely can't do the Imposter Sheepsquatch with 2 level 50s, so as far as repeatable endgame content goes, it certainly seems like this is one of the lower end of the bunch. They mentioned how through this you're going to get some different kinds of loot, and through the screenshots we see a couple of interesting things. First and foremost, this looks like it's going to be a newly added armor to Fallout 76, but not to the Fallout games. I'm pretty sure this is the Rescue Diver suit from Fallout 4's Far Harbor DLC. It was notable there as it does give you the ability to breathe underwater, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar in Fallout 76. Plus, it honestly looks pretty cool. Although outside of that, we also see an Arcos Pharma lab coat, which is something I'll touch on more in a moment. Also, in this Inside the Vault article, we see that the camera has been delayed. It was originally set to come out this Tuesday, but now they're saying it's coming out later this month. So intrinsically, this isn't that big of a deal, but this is actually the second delay of the Wild Appalachia DLC. We were supposed to get player vending with the past major update, but that also has been pushed back. That one to May, this one now just a couple of weeks later to the end of this month. As far as the camera itself goes, basically you're gonna find it on a tourist in game, and after finding it, you're gonna be tasked with completing his bucket list of photos. So going around Appalachia and taking pictures of things. It'll function pretty similarly to a weapon. I assume it'll actually function pretty similarly to binoculars. You'll have to actually craft ammo for this in the form of film. There's going to be various customizable lens options. You could have a standard lens, and they say on release also a zoom lens, but that they're thinking about other kinds they'll add in the future. But even further, different skins you can get for this. It seems like these will mostly be on the Atomic Shop through data mining. We could see several of these already in the files. And all in all, although this camera seems like it's going to be cool, even in this, they say it'll have less functionality than photo mode, such as not having some of the filters, frames, or poses. So to me, it honestly sounds more like a gimmick. Like, yeah, it'll look cool seeing your character holding the camera and maybe even taking a picture of your character holding the camera. But outside of zoom functionality, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a ton of added benefits from using the camera over the existing photo mode. But honestly, either way, it is pretty cool, and I'm excited to see what other lenses they add in. Although speaking more on the Atomic Shop, with the most recent update, there's a lot of stuff you could find added in the files. Some of this is fairly basic, par for the course of what we've been seeing so far. But even further, in this, we also get quite a few really interesting looking power armor skins. One is the War Rider skin. I've been mentioning these for like over a month now. There are 4 in this set, but we finally got updated images for one of them, meaning that, hey, maybe we'll see it get released in the next couple of weeks. But even outside of that, some of the other paint jobs you could find in here look awesome. And I would definitely say this is a positive. This is the kind of content I would want to see in there, just like the last power armor skin we got with the previous update. But speaking of that most recent update, let's tie it back around to this image. As I touched on before, one of these two people is wearing a new Arcos Pharma lab coat. And this is what brings us to the final part of this video, that being the mystery of Wild Appalachia. We know for a fact that there is a whole wealth of new content still that has yet to be released. We can see in the trailer there is a dungeon under Arcos Pharma, but as they confirmed, this is another high-level dungeon on the way. Through data mining in Fallout 76, we could see other things like new weapons. We also saw this in the trailer. That weapon can now actually be found in one of the dev rooms. We know that there's a model for the Sheepsquatch in game. Spoilers, skip ahead if you don't want to see what the real Sheepsquatch looks like. There was a considerable amount of effort put into this, yet we still don't have it. And then of course there's other things like that newly added vault and all the other locations on this map, which later got modified to this map. In other words, it certainly seems like there's a new wave of content coming that I just can't really fit into this schedule. Obviously, we have the burrows next week. We also know there's an Art Coast dungeon coming at some point. Does the fact that one of the people in the burrow screenshot is wearing a new outfit that is seemingly tied to Art Coast mean that it's somehow connected to this? Is this like one really meta mystery from Bethesda? Are they watching us trying to see if people connect certain dots or unlock the real secrets of the Sheepsquatch? A lot of this content is presently in game and just hasn't been activated yet, but we don't really know when it's coming. As I speculated in my video yesterday, it really does seem like there's going to be like a whole phase 2 of the Sheepsquatch where you actually get the Sheepsquatch. But at least as of right now, based on everything we know, I couldn't tell you even remotely when that is. I think one of like 3 explanations is pertinent. Maybe Bethesda is actually having internal issues. Maybe they had to delay this. It was originally planned for the Sheer Terror quest or Lying Low quest that we just got, but they had to push it back and now they're trying to find some other way to fit it in. Alternatively, maybe this is some kind of ARG or larger mystery. The whole point of the quest is hunting down a secret cryptid. Maybe we have to figure something out as a community to actually gain access to it. Or third, maybe it's tied to the next questline that is on the way. The Pioneer Scouts questline has been mentioned. We don't know really a ton about it outside of the fact that we're getting backpacks. But really, in the comments down below, let me know what you think, because I don't know what the answer is to this. It kind of baffles my mind that we got a Sheepsquatch quest without the actual Sheepsquatch, but the Sheepsquatch is in the game. We just don't know how to find it. I don't know. Either way, I'm excited, I'm interested, and I want to see what happens next. Hopefully you guys found this video informative. As always, again, I thank you all for watching. But with that, I hope to see you all next time. Later.